I truly believe that if you don't have this mindset, it'll be very, very hard for you to be happy and fulfilled and achieve any kind of success in this life. It's something I have struggled with for most of my life, and I really want to discuss it today. For the majority of my life, and even today, I really struggle with low self-esteem and low confidence. I've always felt like I'm not good enough, I'm not as good as other people. I've had constant overthinking and self-doubt, comparing myself to others, and thinking that I'll fail no matter what happens. And this is something I've tried to work on very, very hard. It's something I believe came out of childhood, and I believe that's one of the main factors that if you don't have a parent when you're growing up that gives you that confidence and self-belief, it becomes very difficult to have self-confidence and self-esteem when you're older, because their negative voice almost becomes your voice, and that's stuck with me my whole life. I have this little voice in my head that says, like, you're not good enough, Justin, you're gonna fail, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're not like other people. So yeah, if you're like this, I really understand what the struggle is like, and I believe that to be successful and live a filled life, we really have to try and change this around. So if you're like that, I really understand how difficult it is, and I do believe that you're kind of cooked in terms of becoming successful and living a fulfilled life if you're constantly gonna live like this and continue having low self-esteem and low self-confidence, because it really affects your ability to do anything, really. It's something we have to acknowledge and something we have to work on as people in order to progress. And there's a few things that I've done that has completely changed the way I live, and I believe it's leading me in the right direction now, even though sometimes I still really struggle with my self-esteem and need to be aware of these things. So if you're struggling with this too, you're not alone, and I'm right here with you, but it doesn't have to be like this. And yeah, if you grew up like I did and you struggle with a parent putting you down and making you feel like you're not good enough, I understand. I do believe it's something we need to let go and forgive. Especially on this channel, I really believe in just forgiving and letting things go. I believe we don't want to take on negative energy from other people. We don't want to, I always say that wishing badly upon someone is like taking the poison and expecting them to be punished. Let's just let go. Let's not give this negative energy and let's move on. But let's realize it did happen and it's something we need to work on. To get back on track with your life and help improve your self-esteem and build your confidence, we need to just get comfortable with failure. We have to accept it, that it's a part of growth, and make friends with it. For the longest time, because I have such low self-esteem and low confidence, every time I failed, I thought, I'm not good at this, I'm a loser, I'm not good as other people, and I would really freak out from failure. But just being aware that in order to get good at something, we need to fail. We need to fail an absolute shit ton. We need to be best friends with failure, because through failure, that's how we get to the places we want to be. Failure is actually a tool for growth, and you should be best friends with failure. I know for me, even the gym, when I first started out, I was this little twig. I couldn't do anything, and I sucked. I would eat dick every time I went to the gym, and now I've put on a bit of muscle. I can lift heavier weights now, but this is just an example of getting comfortable with failure and realizing failure is what we need to get good. And instead of failing and being like, oh no, I can't do it, I'm crap, I'm not like everyone else, I'm not good enough, catch yourself thinking like that and realize, no, this is where the growth happens. Every time I fail, I'm getting closer to where I want to be, and this is needed. This is the fuel that gets you good at something. Even like my YouTube videos, I've been eating dick and getting low views on a lot of videos. But I realize now, and I catch myself thinking, Justin, you're not good. You have nothing to say. You're not a YouTuber. You're not going to make this successful. And then I realize, I catch myself thinking that, and I think, no, this is what you need to get through to get good. You need to fail. You need these reps, like in the gym. You need these reps, because if you don't have these reps, you're never going to get good. And so I really want you to take that on board, and I want you to stop avoiding things, because if you're anything like me, I have avoided so many things in my life because I've been scared of failing, and I've been scared of, it's almost like that little child in you comes up. That little scared child thinks, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to fail and I don't want to feel crap. But I promise you, you are capable of doing whatever you want in this life. And just don't regret anything, man. Just, if it's something you really want to do, get comfortable with failure and get used to sucking so hard, because it's the only way to get better, and it's the only way to get what you want in life. But catch yourself thinking negatively, and then realize failure is my best friend, and I'm going to get real good at failing. And that's where having a growth mindset comes in. Realize that it's going to take a long time to get where you want to go, and that it's all about just putting in effort and slowly building. You aren't born this absolute degenerate who's never going to achieve anything. You don't suck. Well, you might suck in the beginning, but realize that it's just going to be the slow, steady growth, and that you are going to fail a whole lot of times. And because you're failing, that doesn't mean you're not capable. It just means you have some more growth to go. And just realize that it's going to take some time. Every little baby step, even though you don't realize it, is just a little tiny percentage towards where you want to get to. So keep going and realize it's all about small little growth. You're not born successful. You're not born where you want to be. It's just going to take time, and it's going to come down to learning how to suck for a very long time. I also want you to keep the promises you make to yourself. I want you to start whatever you want to work towards, and just do a little thing. Write a little thing saying, I'm going to just start and do one little thing, and make sure you achieve this. Because once you start achieving the promises you make to yourself, you'll start growing confidence. The confidence will only come when you've done that thing a million times and you've sucked at it and you've slowly made little bits of growth. I'm still working on my self-confidence and self-esteem, but these are just a few things that have really helped me. And just also, I really want you to realize when that negative, nasty thinking comes up in your head. And that's when I want you to think about being friends with failure and realizing things are going to take time, and it's little baby steps. And from that, confidence will grow. I am still struggling with this a lot myself. So it's not something that will just it'll just fall away overnight. But I'm here with you, and you're not alone, and together, let's build something beautiful. I'm going to keep going with my YouTube, even though the channel is very small right now. I'm going to keep sucking, I'm going to keep failing, but I hope this helped you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.